Welcome everyone to today's episode of Live It, Santa's Christmas Appetizers. My name is Tara Spizak and I'm a registered dietitian here at the Bryan Hospital, filling in today for Andrea Miller. My sous chef today is the one and only Santa Claus, so let's welcome Santa. Not many people can go home and say they worked with Santa for the day, so I can cross this off my bucket list, I guess.
That list is mostly full of reindeer.
So today's recipe is turkey and cheese party rolls and stuffed mushrooms. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the party rolls. So first of all, we're going to use crescent rolls. So I'll have Santa open that for me. And we're using turkey and cheese, but you can use pretty much any type of meat on it. You could do like ham and Swiss. You can do roast beef with whatever cheese you want. Somebody mentioned doing like a Reuben type, so these are very good. There we hear the pop. Okay, so I'm going to give Santa part, and then I'm going to do the other part. This one's been sitting out a while. It's a little gooey. Okay.
Thank you.
So we're going to split this in half. It's kind of nice, they're all seamed. So you're going to end up with like 2 rolls, and then you're going to just kind of pinch together the seams and spread it out so that it's just a rectangle. They actually make squares of these where you don't have to do this pinching. I bought that the last time I made them, and it was a lot easier. You don't have to worry about pinching them together because mine are kind of falling apart. Okay, so that's it there. And then all we do now is put on about 1 to 2 slices of turkey. You don't want it to be too thick. So we'll do, this is decently thick. So I'll just do like 2. Oh geez, mine are ripping.
Is this left over from the last holiday?
I don't think so. This looks like deli meat, but you could use that. And then we are using, to keep the calories and fat down, we're using the Sargento Ultra Thin Sliced Cheese. So the sodium's lower, the fat and calories. So we can put about 3 of these on.
3 on each?
Yep. Just kind of overlap them a little bit.
Okay.
So Santa, do you ever get tired of eating cookies all the time?
As a matter of fact, Mrs. Claus just bought me a new present. Do you see this?
Oh yeah, it's a Fitbit.
No. It's a cookie counter.
Oh.
It does measure into the thousands.
I was going to say, do you have a limit? Does she put you at a limit on how many you can eat?
Every day except Christmas.
But this would be something that would be different for you to have as a Santa snack. So maybe some people can use this recipe and put this out for their...
If we use this, I might not need a bigger belt next year.
So now to make this a little bit more festive, we are going to add some vegetables to it, because of course what dietitian doesn't want more vegetables added to things? So we're going to do some red pepper and some spinach. So which one do you want to do? You want to cut the red pepper?
Certainly.
Okay. And I'll kind of get started on the spinach. I'm going to pick off some of the ends.
I thank you for the color coordination.
There you go. I'm going to pick off some of the ends because it's never fun to bite into a piece of spinach leaf with the ends on it. And once again, you could use kale on this. You could do whatever pepper you wanted. You could put, if it's the ham one, you could put mushrooms in it. You could probably put banana peppers. You can just kind of do whatever you want on these. My husband actually sent me this recipe to make for football game day. So this is kind of our new snack that we have on Michigan game days. So Michigan, yes, we're Michigan fans.
Okay. Speaking of the naughty list,
Am I on the naughty list now because of that?
I watched the game, that's all I'm
Yes,
saying.
we don't need to comment about that. Probably want the red peppers diced pretty fine, so. Santa said he likes to use the big chef's knife. I'm not too familiar with those, so I brought my own little knife from home, so you're pretty good at that.
Can't develop a svelte figure like this without knowing the way around a kitchen.
Perfect.
Would you like red pepper on yours as well?
Sure.
I'll switch you.
Okay. Okay, so we'll put a little bit more on there.
Thank you.
This one's perfect. Okay, so all you do to roll these up is you just kind of start at the one end and just start rolling it very carefully. So you kind of have like a log.
Yule?
Yes, there you go, Yule log. And that's why it helps to do you can feel a little bit of resistance with the cheese, so that's why it helps to have that thinner sliced cheese. Because I think if you had the thicker cheese, it would maybe rip more and be a little bit harder to roll up there. Perfect. Awesome. So now we are going to just spray a pan with some cooking spray. And then all we do with these is we're going to cut them in thirds. Mm-hmm. So probably about, I don't know, 1.5 inches-ish. And I saw back and forth, and you don't do that. Everybody's got different knife skills, I guess. So they end up looking really pretty when you kind of roll them up. You got, a little bit of color everywhere, and you just set them, I guess you say face up in the pan. Oops, sorry.
Should they be spaced?
Yeah, just about like what they are. Just
Okay.
they expand just a teeny bit, so I think we got a little bit too many red pepper in your one because it's fallen out, but that's okay. It'll just cook up a little odd shaped, but there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so then this is it. So all you would do is put this in the oven at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes until they start to turn brown. So the actual finished product kind of looks like this. So y'all tried them, so were they pretty tasty? Good.
Do you ever make them ahead a little bit? Like, have you done that?
I never have, but I would think it would be okay as long as you put it back in the refrigerator. This with the dough, I think, sitting out for a little bit longer than typical. It was a little like puffy, but it's easier to work with if you bring it right out of the chilled, but at least just the dough. Okay, so now our second recipe is stuffed mushrooms. So stuffed with cream cheese, and that's not the most healthy for you, but we are using the light cream cheese, which is called Neuchâtel.
Bless you.
So this is 1/3 less fat, so you could use that to help cut down on the fat in the recipe. And there's actually a little bit more moisture in that too, so it actually cooks up a little bit faster than the regular cream cheese. So to get started with that, we are going to take our mushrooms. And one thing I learned this week from our caterer is you're not really supposed to wash mushrooms. They get soggy, they do turn brown quicker. So what she recommends is just kind of wiping them with like a wet rag. So I've wetted my rag here, and you just kind of like wipe the dirt off. Now she did tell me that these came in today pretty dirty, so she did have to run a little bit of water over them to clean off the bigger pieces of dirt, but then let it air dry a little bit and kind of blot it so that they stay the right color and everything. So I've always washed my mushrooms at home, and then they turn like the next day they're all brown, and I usually throw them away, so good to know. So we're gonna kind of split this job then. They've already been cleaned, so we're going to pop out the stem. And they actually pop out pretty easily. And the mushrooms she bought, she had a couple packages and they were humongous. And then these are actually kind of small. So I mean, you kind of get what you get, I guess. So the recipe typically makes for, I think it's 12 to 16. So if you do have the smaller ones, you'll be able to make a lot more. So it says 12 whole mushrooms, but I think we should do like 15 or 16 because these are smaller. Okay, 2 more each and we'll be good.
Okay.
Or 1 more each, I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to take, actually, if you can bring that cookie sheet over here, Santa, we're going to put the mushrooms just down on the pan.
Ooh.
Actually, I'm going to get my skillet started to get the garlic and butter to be cooking, and then we'll slice up our mushroom stems. So wish me luck here. There we go. Okay, so to get started, we're going to add butter and garlic to the skillet. So just a tablespoon of butter and a tablespoon of garlic. And we are using minced garlic today for easeability. Looks like we have a lot of butter here.
You didn't ask Santa for any knives this year, so pre-chopped is a good choice.
Yes, there you go. I cut my finger off sometimes if I
Oh no.
am too
Maybe you should
fancy
ask
with
Santa
knives.
for a cut glove.
Maybe I should. Okay. A little bit of butter in there, and then a tablespoon of minced garlic. Just is very strong today. The whole room smells like garlic now. Okay, so while that's kind of melting a little bit, we are going to chop up our mushroom stems. You want these to be pretty small. Well, he's doing it the way he probably should, but I'm a little bit more careful. Since I don't use a big knife, I don't cut like a chef, I guess. We had to get that song in there, didn't we? We didn't have the food processor this year, so.
Thank goodness. Santa is a food processor.
You're pretty good at that. I should have had you do mine. Okay, so this is starting to melt, so we're just going to put our cut up mushroom stems in there as well. And then you just let this saute just for a few minutes till the mushroom stems start to brown, and it does not take very long at all. Let's see what's next. I think we add then the cream cheese and then all the spices. So we'll get the cream cheese cut. We need 6 ounces. It's really soft, so I'm going to make a mess of this.
May I?
Oh, sure. You know where 6 ounces is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to close that right up.
Oh, you're going to cut through the...
6.
Oh, the knife's sharp enough. There you go. There you go. Santa had a good trick on cutting cream cheese.
When do we add the cookies?
It's kind of hard to make healthy Santa cookies, so probably never going to see cookies as a live-it recipe. Except my favorite Santa cookies do have oatmeal in them, so that at least helps.
We trick children over in England. We call them biscuits there.
There you go.
Instead of having biscuits instead. Those don't count towards my cookie counter.
Okay, so we will add the cream cheese. The recipe says you can cube it up, but it actually works just as well, just dumping it in whole. Okay, so then we need, I'll let you do the Parmesan cheese. We need a 1/4 of a cup of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then we need a 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder, cayenne pepper, and salt. And I'm telling you, this cayenne pepper, a 1/4 of a teaspoon is not much, but it certainly gives it a little bit of kick. So that's about all you need, unless you like it hotter, then you could add lots more.
Ah, finally something red in this dish.
Yeah, there you go. I think this would be good with like really diced up peppers, like the red peppers maybe. But it doesn't take long at all for this to kind of melt up. And because you bake it, you don't even probably have to stir this all up like this. You can just mix it all together in a bowl and just scoop it into the mushrooms because they bake for 20 plus minutes, so it'll cook up that way as well if you need a little extra time. Okay, that's good. We're gonna shut the heat off. Okay, so, do I have a heating pad? I guess we'll just leave it on the heat like that. Set it on the what? Okay. Guess we're gonna set it on the cutting board. Hope it's not too hot. Okay, now we either use a scoop to place your cream cheese in the mushrooms, but this is a larger scoop and the mushrooms are kind of small, so the trick I got from catering is to use 2 spoons. So Santa's got a couple spoons. So you just take about, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now it's time to have a couple spoons.
So you just take about a tablespoon or so of the mixture, and then you just use the other spoon to kind of just set it right on top like that. So piece of cake. If you actually watch some YouTube videos on how to stuff mushrooms, they actually like stuff it more, but these work just great. It kind of cooks down in there a little bit and super easy.
Would you like to hear my reindeer impression?
Sure. Very good. Is that pretty easy to use the spoons like that?
Very.
Yeah.
It's much nicer to make gloves.
Actually, while I finish this, I'll let you chop up the parsley because we're going to garnish it with a little bit of chopped parsley.
Okay. Reindeer reprisal?
I think my pan's a little big. My mushrooms are all falling over. If you have them in a smaller pan, they all kind of touch and hold each other up. Okay. So just sprinkle some of the parsley then on the top. There's the green to make it a little bit more festive. I've got enough for one more. So I guess if you had a large bunch of mushrooms, you could, double or triple this recipe. There you go. There's the red. There you go. So these come out looking like this. So they're a little bit kind of browned on the top, and the paprika kind of comes up a little bit and gives it that red hue, and that's what you got. So these bake at 350 for about 20 minutes or until hot, and then you would garnish it afterwards. So I guess I wait to garnish until they've cooked. So if we take those into the kitchen, they'll bake with the garnish on there. But that's all we got for today. So does anybody have any questions about anything? Okay. Well, thank you, Santa, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. My annual stop to Spangler's for candy canes.
So I'd like to wish everybody and our viewers at home a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.